Hello and welcome. My name is Chris. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to go through a couple strategies when it comes to ranking for your services on your website and then also within the Google ranking and searches. So it's my understanding that an agency is currently whipping up a website for you, which eventually will be listed in Google. I can tell you it takes anywhere nowadays up to 6 to 9 weeks to actually see real indexing come into play. But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about an SEO, search engine optimization, and a little bit about Google Ads strategy in order to bring in the most leads when that website is an available tool for you. So the process does start on the website itself. And what I mean by that is there are particular keywords that people are utilizing in order to find services. Let's take, for example, your home base, that 33870 zip code in Sebring, Florida. Well, if I'm a person living in Sebring, Florida, and let's just say I need a new roof, the time has come, maybe I bought a new house, whatever the case might be, I'm going to turn to Google and I'm going to type in roofer near me or roofing Sebring, Florida, roofing contractor Sebring, Florida, a variation of the service I'm looking for plus the location that I'm in. Google recognizes that and they label that a keyword. Now, what's important is that when Google looks at your website, they need to know what services you offer and in the location that you offer them in. In order to do so, they're going to pick up on keywords. So coming full circle, we need to make sure we're putting the keywords on your website that actually result in coming up in the search rankings. So it's my understanding that although we're based in the Sebring area, we're looking to cater to the nearby counties. So I'm going to show you here. Of course, you're familiar with it, Sebring being in Highlands County, and then the nearby counties being Hardy, DeSoto, Charlotte, Glades. I'm not even going to try with this one. Okeechobee, I guess, Polk as well. So I don't know if we're going all the way to the coasts here. Of course, that is a vast expanse of territory. So I'm just going to utilize the smaller main focus being Sebring right now and Highlands County to show you examples of what I mean by keywords and how to rank. And then we can utilize that same process and understanding and procedure to all the other areas we're looking to rank for. So turning our attention to the example before, I need a roof, I'm in Sebring, I'm gonna type in something like this, roofer Sebring, Florida. And here's what I'm going to be presented with. Right at the top is going to be Google Local Service Provider. This is part of their paid advertising program. This particular one is different than, let's say, an AdWords, or you might know it as PPC, because this presents a little bit more of a utilized structure. If you can see here, you have the ranking, you have the telephone number, you have the hours of operation, a lot more than just the normal ads that you would see. And this information is actually pulled from this down here known as a Google My Business listing, which is an incredibly important part of any sound SEO strategy. So on top of the website that might be being built for you at the moment, don't forget to utilize a Google My Business setup. It's completely free, but it's extremely important to make sure that we're optimizing it correctly in order to be found for one, the right services, and two, within the right area. So we can talk about that at length if the time comes, but I just want to give you that high level overview of what you're going to see. Down here, we're looking at Yelp, we're looking at the Better Business Bureau, Home Advisor. These are all known as directories. In the digital marketing world, they're known as citations or referring domains, in case you've heard that term before. But we come down here, and of course, Angie's List, Owens Corning, and then we look at the first listing of an actual company that's utilizing an SEO strategy, and we have Bowen and Son Roofing. We open up their website, and here's what we have in front of us. Sorry, I was looking at it before just to do my research. But anyway, nice website all in all. They are actually putting in their tagline here, if I can go back, serving 17 counties in Central Florida. Of course, it's cut off because they're not doing it correctly, but it's a good example because you're looking to target the other counties. So we come down and we see down here in their footer that they're listing off all the counties that they service. Now that's great, especially because a lot of these counties are not as densely populated as some of the other areas. So it's not necessarily important to build out a back page specific to the county unless people are actually searching within that county for the service. So because the search volume might be low, Google recognizes even someone sitting in Polk County. If you're located in Sebring or Highlands, you're still going to come up in their searches because it's proximity to the location that they're searching in. So that's important. And I know I'm getting a little off track and a bit intricate. I just wanted you to get a full picture here of what I'm talking about. So keywords, keywords, keywords. We want to talk about putting in the content of your website, not only the homepage, but all the back pages, the right terms that people are actually searching for online in order for Google to recognize, okay, they're a roofer, they're in Sebring, they serve Highlands, Polk, Okeechobee, so on and so forth. So let's make sure they come up within the searching. So let's take a look at the diagnostic backend of Bowen and Son, just as an example. We like to utilize the tool Ahrefs. I know there's a ton on your screen. Don't worry about that. I want to focus right here at this row and this massive number here. So there are millions and millions and millions of websites online, and Ahrefs goes ahead and ranks them all. This number is actually extremely large. So the ranking isn't great. And it actually shows me, based off of everything else here, that there's room and opportunity for us to go ahead and skip right over Bowen and Son. Now, it does take time. That is that element of SEO. But they don't have a lot of strength behind their overall website, and they're still on the first page. So if we're putting a little bit more effort in, then we're going to surpass them over time, which is great. So right here, the keywords are ranking for 25, most of them actually being variation of their names. So we want to see, okay, well, how do we make sure that we show up for what they did, like roofer Sebring, Florida? Well, we turn to another tool we like to utilize, which is Ubersuggest, and we actually type in roofing Sebring, Florida, and see what's going on. So you can tell by the volume here. Let me turn your attention to this right here. These are the keywords, the entire terms. And then the volume here is how many times per month this is actually being utilized by potential consumers. So the example that I was going back to was me being in Sebring. I need a new roof. I'm going to type in something like roofing Sebring. Or if you look here, roofers Sebring, roofers in Sebring, roofers in Sebring, Florida, so on and so forth. Then it goes into more of the like company names and all of that. But right here and above, we have 100, 200 times per month search volume just for Sebring. So that's only one town within the county you look to service within the greater radius that you look to be dominating the search results in. Now, also important is this is not only the search volume for SEO, but it's this column right here known as CPC, or cost per click. This is actually how much Google charges to win out the auction of a Google Ads campaign, or PPC, pay per click. $6.37 is actually extremely low and competitive for the roofing industry. I've actually never seen it that low, which is good news. It means that the overall budget can be utilized in a greater fashion to capture a lot larger radius at the same price point. If, let's say, we're going after a more densely populated area like you have to the west of you, Tampa, which is a lot more competitive and market saturated. So this is good news. Again, this is only one element within the greater picture that you look to target, but we can utilize the same strategy and understanding and apply it to each and every area that we look to move forward in. So the reason I wanted to bring your attention just to the town itself is everything leading up to what I was saying: keywords, search volume, ranking in the right location, so on and so forth. But then I also want to take this example and contrast that against trying to rank in the overall county. It's always important that it's not so much what you think people are searching for, but what the data actually shows they're searching for. And check this out. So I did roofing Highlands County, Florida. Now, of course, you would think in theory Highlands County encompasses so much more than just Sebring, so the search volume should be higher for that, right? Greater radius. Just doing the math, it seems like it would be higher. Well, it's not. And the reason being is because people, when they search, as well as Google, when they understand people's searches, is hyper focused. So it's not going to just go off a broad scope, right? So if I was going to say roofing in the United States, well, that's extremely broad, and Google's going to automatically recognize where I'm doing that search from and put the local results for me first. So what we want to do is when we're ready to move forward, we target not only just Sebring, but we target the most densely populated cities and areas within these counties within your greater radius of service. And then we make sure we utilize the keywords and put it on the website. We put it on all of the off-page efforts, which includes blogging, posting about your services on other people's websites, known as backlinking or guest posting. So that's important to know too. There's opportunity here for sure. Let me show you as well here, just as an example. I typed in Bartow, Florida, another town within the area, and I come down here, and again, there's very little search volume. So this is part of the research, right? We don't want to spend 95% of our effort trying to rank in a place that no one's really searching for the service there, because one, the population is not as dense, but two, is because Google's smart enough to broaden the scope of where you're located as far as the company goes, recognize the search volume, and put your name up in the other counties based off of the efforts that you're doing for your back end, both SEO and pay-per-click Google ads. Remember this cost per click column right here, and show that to the vast majority of the county and the town and the overall area. So I know it's a lot to take in. I'm more than happy to answer any question that might pop up. This, again, is showing you just one sliver of the process, and it starts right away with putting in the correct keywords. That's one element of the on-page SEO. Other elements will be the image text, the titles of the pages. For example, I'm going to go back to Bowen here. I'm going to go ahead and hover over it, which you can see as well. Serving 17 counties in Central Florida. Great information, but there's no keyword there. So Google's not going to give it priority, but they want to let their user know that regardless of where they are within those 17 counties, Bowen's got them covered. So we would go after that same approach, do it a little bit better, and make sure we focus on both on-page SEO and the efforts of all the off-page SEO in combination with that local service provider or Google Ads campaign. So opportunity here. So it all starts with the website. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second, but I do hope you found this useful. Took up too much of your time already. So I appreciate it and hope to hear from you. Thanks.